Energy will not tell you what you did, but it's going to express itself. It's going to express the consequence of what you made, a choice you made at some point in your life. Because energy is meant to be expressed, not to be thought about. Or, it's not gonna so energy is not gonna be like, here's what you did. It's not gonna talk to your mind. It's not gonna talk to your ego and be like, oh, hey, so-and-so, look, you did this 5 years ago to somebody. And so I'm going to express myself now in your feelings so you can feel me, okay? Because there's an imbalance somewhere in your divine soul blueprint. So before I do this, before these negative feelings, before I come in to let you know that something is off, I'm going to explain myself to you, to your mind and your ego, so that you can have an understanding of what it is that you did. And so I'm going to come in and express myself. Energy is not logical. It does not explain itself. Energy expresses and experiences itself based on what we're choosing, right? Because we're the divine being of our lives. And so every choice that we make is important. Yeah. So you can make certain choices. If they are not happy, you're going to reach a point where you're like, I don't think I'm really satisfied with the way my life is going right now. Let me start creating something new. And then that's a beautiful time for you to be like, okay, this is not working anymore. This is working. I need certain things that are going to support me to where I'm going. And that's beautiful, right? And so when you stop making choices that don't align with where you are anymore, sometimes, let's say if we hurt someone's feeling at some point in the past, if they're still holding on to an energy that was like, man, she hurt me, I still think about that every once in a while. Even though you stopped making that choice anymore, which is great, you're still going to experience a little bit of a consequence of the choice you're not making anymore. I know it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But that's the time you're going to be like, because you've stopped making that choice anymore, you're going to be like, this doesn't make sense to me. Why am I experiencing this when, I'm doing everything right? And so when you actually get your own reading to see what is really playing at a subconscious level in your life, influencing you without you having conscious knowledge about it, it can really be helpful to sort of understand what you did and then clear that energetic karma so it can stop affecting you anymore so that you can continue on with what you're doing. It's very helpful to find out what energies are actually influencing you and to also find out what your energetics are, right? Because we're all unique and different. Who I am at soul level and how I'm made to show up is very different to who you are and how you are made to show up. We are not all made to show up the same way. We're not all meant to take specific actions because someone says, oh, I found success with this strategy, so you need to do the exact same thing and you're gonna have success. How many people have done that and still haven't really attained the success that this person had? That's another indicator that lets you know, okay, yeah, that worked for them, it doesn't work for me. So that means that yes, you found something that doesn't work. At the same time, because you are incarnated here on earth at this time, God, the universe, the creator, does not create anything without support. It means that there's something that works for you. You just haven't found it yet. And the Akashic Record, like I said, because they are an energetic database, they hold the knowledge of your energy, who you are and how you're supposed to express who you are. They also hold the history of your choices. When people get the reading, they cut through all the noise of trying out different things, just leaving them disappointed every day, and they wonder why their lives are still the same. It's very, very helpful, and it also awakens our intuition, and then our discernment, our spiritual discernment muscles also awaken. Like we become very intuitive, very aware of who we really are, and we can tell when someone is trying to suggest a negative program onto us. I've experienced this myself where I'm just minding my business in the store and there's this lady next to me just looking at me up and down, sizing me up or whatever for no reason. Like I didn't have a conversation with you. Like, what's your problem? It doesn't faze me. It doesn't like even get into my energy. It's just like, I see what you're doing. And by the way, when you get your Akashic Record reading done, your intuitive abilities, like I said, they do sort of open up. And so you can tell the energy behind someone's choice, what they are showing you in the moment. So in this particular experience, I could tell what she was trying to do to me. I'm like, oh, have a good day. But, you know, I'm not going to pick that on as my experience. For me, as a Black woman, I experience that a lot. It's not unique. Like, this is something I experience almost on a daily basis. But it doesn't bother me anymore because I can feel someone's energy. I'm like, oh, you're trying to influence me. And I see the program behind your energy. Huh, no thank you. But you have a good day. When a woman hasn't stepped into their own power, and by the way, the womb has a lot of power, but there's a lot of negative programs there. We're walking around with other energies that we're not conscious to. We're just reacting and we have no idea. And so when someone hasn't worked on themselves and they see someone who has worked on themselves, they're walking confidently. They're not curious about what other people think about them, and they're just themselves. That can be triggering. It's like, who do you think you are? Who gives you the right to walk that way? Why are you looking like that? Right? Whatever. But I have compassion. I'm like, I recognize where you are. I feel for you. But what you're trying to do, I'm somewhere different now. That type of behavior is not gonna influence me anymore because I know too much and I know myself. It doesn't do me or you any favors for me to look down and shrink my energy and feel bad about myself because you are suggesting that I feel bad about myself because you don't like who you are right now. I think this is also why it's important, if you are a woman listening to me right now, to really tap in and be honest with yourself. What is keeping you hidden? How do you feel about yourself? What energy are you walking around with every day in your body? What thoughts come up unprompted in your body, in your mental body? And what is the feelings, right? Because the feeling that you feel, whether you are man or woman, is fueled by a thought. Like for me, like I said, somebody programmed me to think and believe that I wasn't good enough at the age of 9, repeatedly, over and over again. And so this is why repetition is important if you're going to change your life in a sustainable way, right? So someone programmed me to think and believe and feel that I'm not good enough. And that program latched onto me and who I thought I was. It was successfully programmed into me, even though I felt that I wasn't good enough. At that time, by the way, I looked at the people that were abusing me. Even though I was going through that, I knew that that's not who they were, that they were going through some type of pain, but they didn't know how to deal with it. And so the easiest thing to do is just like inflict pain on someone else. This is a way that we act out and also call for help, because we know at a deep level that that's not who we are. We know that that's not what we want to do to someone else and to ourselves, really. But if you're not aware of energy, it's like, this is not me. And then when they do that, maybe they feel a little relief, but they feel bad about it at an unconscious level, and they don't even know that. As I kept hearing it every day, until I was about 14, that's when I started taking it on. Oh, maybe there's something wrong with me, because these people have been programming me every single day that I'm not good enough. Is there something wrong with me? When I continued to ask that question, I began to hear and feel messages of encouragement and love and peace. No, there's nothing wrong with you. You are worthy. You are enough. You are loved, and you are not alone. That's when I began to see angels. I hope this is not weird for you, but I started to see angels and Jesus as well. And so it's like there was that positive experience that I was having while I was still experiencing darkness and abuse and everything else. But before I began to see angels, I actually asked God one day. I was like, why am I experiencing this? Because I had enough at that point. I was very angry at God and my experience. Because it's like, if you think about it, as a child, I didn't do anything wrong to believe bad about myself, and to be experiencing what I was experiencing. So it was like, it didn't make sense to me. It's like, I'm here, but I'm experiencing that it's not okay. Who I am is not okay, and that I'm not good enough. And so one day I got really angry at God. So I called out to God. I'm like, what did I do that was so wrong that I'm experiencing this? Am I being punished for something? And then the next day is when I began to see angels and Jesus and feeling these comforting feelings and messages. But even though I was having that experience, it's like what I was experiencing, the trauma and everything, got louder. It became hard. At some point I was like, I remember this one time, I was beaten, and on top of my head, there's actually a little dent. I passed out, I saw blackness and then ringing in my ears, and I was sweating and passed out for a few seconds. I felt like I was gonna throw up too, and so after that, I went to my private place where I communicated with them and felt all these encouraging messages. And they came up again, as they did every time I was abused. I went to sleep by myself, and they would just come comfort me with loving messages to make me feel better. This day, it was too much, right? And so in the pain, I kind of yelled at them. I was like, why do you come to me just when I'm abused? But forgetting that actually, when I was happy, they would show up again to celebrate with me, to be happy with me, right? Which was beautiful. But I forgot. All of that was out the window that day. I was like, why do you always come to me when I'm abused? Leave me alone. I don't want to see you again, or something like that, because I would see them. Excuse me. And then a week went by, and I was continuing to experience the abuse and the trauma. I went to my private place and cried, and they never showed up. I felt very lonely and very sad, because I felt like something important has left my life. And so all I saw from that point was darkness. And so 3 weeks went by, same thing happened, and I went to my private place, and then I said I was sorry and called them back. Please come back. I'm sorry for what I said. I didn't mean it. I was in pain. I value your presence. It's important to me. I never see them now. I hear them. I feel their presence, but I don't see the lights anymore, the lights. So that program was deeply embedded in me. And so as I grew older, it only became louder. Even with the support, the beautiful support from the divine. Because 3D reality is so dense and so real, right? So real that the programs play themselves over and over again in our minds. And so this is where, when I woke up in the morning, this was when I was in my teen years, all through high school, and then when I was 22 is when I decided to take a look at that. But it's in the morning when I woke up, before I opened my eyes, I have this thought pop up. Now that you are awake, don't forget, you're not good enough. Out of nowhere, right? And then immediately after that thought, the feeling came up to make me feel less than. That was very confusing to me. So when I was 22, everything became louder. And at the same time, the loving presences that were in my life, they were showing me that I had a gift. But because trauma was louder than what I was feeling, it's I don't want to feel anything. I don't want to hear anything. And so I started drinking to sort of suppress the programming, and then to also kind of quieten what they were trying to suggest to me. It's hey, you have a gift. And so it's I'm in my kitchen doing something, and I started hearing a lot of voices all at once, good and negative they were so intense until I broke down and cried. I'm like, what do you want from me? Give me a sign. What do you want me to do? This was God I was talking to. I'm like, what is it? What is it? What do you want me to do? And then I received a sign. I started seeing energy clearing videos and stuff, and like, okay. I started becoming interested in that. I found a Reiki practitioner who helped me kind of cleanse some things from my body to sort of help my body breathe. Like, you know, when we clear negative energies, it feels like we are receiving new, beautiful energy in our bodies, and like the body is breathing for the first time without all the energetic entanglements of negative energies from the programs I was programmed with. That really broke me down. And then I just dug deeper into that. I got certified in Reiki healing, and then, you know, Akashic Records reading. After I got my reading is when I opened up to the gift that they were telling me about. But at first it was very scary. I thought people would think that I've gone crazy. Over time, I decided to explore it and become comfortable with that in the space of my own home. I was practicing this gift and seeing what it can do. The first time I actually did it in front of people, I went to a coach's retreat. When you're afraid about what you're doing, thinking that people are not going to accept it, and people are going to reject you for it, it's like you're going to most likely call that experience in your life. But at the same time, if it's a true gift from God, from the divine, you are also going to experience a positive outcome from that. Like, you're going to experience both of them, because you are a divine being here, sovereign in your own power. God is not going to tell you, hey, choose this. No. You are powerful. You're here to create your life. You're here to choose what you're going to experience. So it's like, when you experience both of them, which is it? Whether you choose the negative experience and begin to believe that, oh yeah, there's something wrong with you, lady, or you choose this and see what it's about. Either way, you are supported. That's the beauty of God, the universe, the divine. We're here, especially at this time, we're being asked to awaken and to really become who we were meant to be, whatever that means for you, because my gifts are different from yours. But we usually don't know what we are gifted in. And so this is where the Akashic Records come in and sort of opens us up spiritually to see who the heck we are, right? Because the world will program us to believe that we are less than, but there's power in you. But you sort of have to want to find out who you are, really. I offer the Akashic Record reading. I have the link in the bio if you are interested to check it out and see what patterns are sort of influencing you at an energy level, at a spiritual level, that maybe you may not be aware of. And then if you are a woman and you are interested in divine feminine healing, I also have a link in the bio that lets you know what that's about and how it can really influence your life, where you are coming from your power, rather than outside influences of how people want you to be as a woman, right? Because there's a lot of programs that we've been programmed with how to be as a woman, but it's all a lie to have us abandon who we are and to not go digging deeper to find out just what it means to be a woman. It's very important. This is a time we're being called to reclaim that and to be okay in your own body. So thank you so much. I hope you have a good rest of your day. By default, right? To just react, and we have no idea why we are reacting to whatever happened, right? We just know. All we know is it doesn't feel good in our consciousness. It doesn't feel good in our bodies. And so it's easier to like react or like say, yeah, she sucks, man. You know, she made me feel like this, whatever. Welcome. Thank you for joining. That's telling you where you need to look. That program has overplayed itself in your consciousness. It's coming up to be addressed and released. And sometimes when we go through certain traumas, we sort of fragment ourselves. We are not whole, right? We don't know how we feel. Like the feeling of you, the true feeling of you, your energy. How do you know? How do you know that you don't know how you truly feel about you? If I ask you right now to tune into your body, how do you feel to yourself? What is the energy of you? Do you love yourself? Do you trust yourself? Do you feel like it's okay for you to express yourself, to be authentically you, unedited? Or are there feelings of shrinking yourself or anxiety? Because when we go out in the world, that lets us know how we feel about ourselves. Because we have thoughts about maybe how people are perceiving us. Am I okay? Is my hair alright? Like, is it okay for me to be here? We sort of shrink our energy energetically, and it's an unconscious thing. When we do that, we actually diminish our own vibration and our own aura, energetic aura. Meaning, when you do that, you are inviting other people's thoughts and negative feelings and energies, really, to sort of come in and influence you on how to be. So what do I mean by that? For example, you go somewhere, and the moment you enter in the room, you feel slightly nervous for no reason. You feel self-conscious, but you were fine a moment ago before you walked in. Now that you're here, all of a sudden, or you feel just angry or bothered or irritated. That means that in that environment where you are, there's been somebody that was there, or maybe they're still even there, that are spewing certain energies in the environment energetically. People that are susceptible to lower frequencies will pick that up, and then just react. They have no idea. It's all energetic. And this is why I talk about energetic life is alive and well, but we are not aware of that usually. Energy is real. Energy influences us even more than anything else. When you look at your life at an energy level and come from that place of consciously choosing the type of energy you're gonna be operating in and from, then you're being the conscious creator of your own life as you intended when you got here. To consciously create your life without being influenced by anyone else's thoughts or emotions, or really energies. Because there are people that seem very confident when you're at a function and someone is talking very loudly and boldly, but when you listen to them and you tune into your body, how am I feeling? I'm hearing quite alright, but what's going on in my body right now as I'm listening to this person? Your body will let you know. Your body will let you know what's influencing you, or whether something is correct for you or not, based on where you are and where you want to be. Most of the time we're not connected to our bodies. We just know that something doesn't feel good in the body, so just react, right? Whether that's verbally or energetically, it's unconscious. But if you tune into that uncomfortable feeling, whatever it is, and really ask yourself, what is this telling me? What is this trying to tell me? Your body will begin to tell you the message behind what you are feeling in your body. It will begin to tell you the message of that, and also what is causing you to think the way that you do. Because how you think and how you feel is connected every time. And you can't feel grateful but think scarcity, it's not aligned. There's a mismatch there. If you are grateful, you have thoughts of abundance and knowing that you are enough, that I can do it. I can have everything that I want. It's okay for me to have what I desire. And that's empowerment. So if your mind is too busy, I encourage you to tune into your body and let your body tell you what is going on. Because your body is also intelligent. Your thoughts, yeah, your mind is, but the ego hijacks what we think so fast that we don't even know what's going to help us or not. Because the ego is going to be like, this is the door right here. You can only bring something that in your mind that is aligned to where you are. So it's very, very conscious about your life and what can come through, what can come in as the truth. So this is where some people have a way of thinking as the only truth, right? And people get programmed to think a certain thought. You can see it in politics, how heavily programmed we are. Now, I don't talk politics here. That's just an example. Another one is certain religions or cults that program their followers with what to think and feel and how to act and how to be and what to believe as your truth. You are not here to be programmed on how to be. You are here to consciously create what you want by choosing the thoughts that you're going to be focusing on and the feelings. And so that's why morning time is a perfect time before you even look at your phone to open your heart in gratitude, to be grateful for what you have, one by one. I do have, so here's a little technique that you can do just to sort of anchor everything that I'm talking about here in your body so you can understand what I'm saying. So you wake up in the morning, or even now, it really doesn't matter. The only time that it matters is because morning and nighttime is where the door to your subconscious opens. It's like perfect time for you to put in what you want to be experiencing the next day, right? You close your eyes and think about something that you're grateful for in your life. The first thing that comes to mind, that. Tune into your heart and really feel it opening. Let it open. Now put that thing in your heart. Look at it and really feel it. While your heart is open, your heart will begin to open a little bit. You will feel a shift in your heart when you're doing this. So put it in your heart and really feel gratitude for it. When you place that thing in your heart and you feel gratitude, it opens your heart even more. So your heart is telling you, yes, this is good. This is aligned with who you are. This is great. When you are grateful for that thing, you will see changes about it. Something might happen to sort of confirm to you that the gratitude that you've been feeling about that thing is actually working. So you're gonna experience an improved experience with it, whether that's someone that you love. You just kind of place them in your heart and think about how they enhance your life in a beautiful way, in a good way for you. Think about what you appreciate about them and let that sink in. As your heart is opening, let it sink in. You are appreciating them for what? Let whatever comes to you comes. Your heart will begin to guide you to the things that you are grateful for and appreciate about that person. See, this is the thing. When you place things in your heart and be grateful for them, like really taking your time and thinking about, I'm so happy that this person is in my life. They enhance my life in this way. Your heart then will take over. Yeah, and they also do this that makes you feel good. They also do this other thing that makes you feel good. So it's like the heart is opening and reaffirming to you, yes, this is true. And so what we're doing there is that we're growing this thing energetically in our lives. We are saying we want it to stay and we want more of it. And also we want more like this, what we're feeling right now. And so this is where we manifest random things, where maybe your loved one just comes up to you out of nowhere and like gives you a kiss or whatever, right? So you will receive a confirmation in your real reality to let you know that what you are doing is working. And gratitude manifests quicker than any other, I would say. Well, gratitude and the frequency of authenticity, whether you are authentic to yourself, where you're not judging yourself, you're being yourself regardless of what's going on, regardless of what anyone else thinks about you and how you're showing up and how you're being. You're still being yourself anyway. That is powerful. Gratitude, when you do it like this, the little process we just did, will manifest quicker than mindset work, affirmations, scripting. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that those things don't work. They do. They help our subconscious mind, right? To begin to let go of the grip of the tightness, the energy of how we have created our lives. So they do, but not as quickly as gratitude. You can begin to see a change about what you are grateful for, whether maybe even in a few hours after you do it. It depends on whether you really took your time and you really were seriously, authentically grateful for them. That also determines what your life shows you about what you're doing. Manifestation and what we do and how we do it, these techniques and processes, lets us know if you are truly, honestly feeling what you are saying. Like I talked about affirmations a few lives back. You sort of have to feel the frequency of the I am, because I am holds power. You are sort of using your divine energy to affirm yourself into maybe health or wealth or loved. So when you say, I am loved, and you really feel I am loved, you are really creating a very strong frequency of the resonance of love in your life. I am happy. Yes, I am happy. Now, I talked about this too. We have been programmed to spell our lives by what we say, right? Because I'm sure you've heard of spelling. We've been programmed to say things like, an example of what we've been programmed opposite to what we want is, I'm hungry, I'm tired, I'm sick. You're not. Like, I know what you're saying, but you're not hungry. You are experiencing hunger. When you say I am hungry, it's like you are taking all the beautiful energy of the divine, who you are, and sort of putting it in the energy of hunger, as if that's who you are. Like you are putting yourself in hunger. I am hungry. No, you're not. You are the divine I am that I am. The presence within you that is undefined. And so when you say I am hungry, you are defining yourself as hunger. No, you are experiencing hunger. But when you say I am happy, and you mean that, you are defining yourself as happiness, which is better than I'm sick, I'm tired. You can tell, because that feels very different in your body than saying I'm hungry. And what we don't know is that this is also going straight to the subconscious mind. Every time we say it, I'm sick, I'm hungry, I'm tired. I'm tired, especially that one. It's like, it has run rampant in our society. I'm tired. Then your body is always tired. Or at least it has a clock, like a timer, right? Oh, it's 2:30. Your ego is gonna remind you, hey, remember, you're tired. And so you're at work, all of a sudden, feel sluggish and feel tired, right? It's noon. Everyone else is eating and you are used to eating at this time. You're hungry, go eat. I'm hungry. Let me go get me some lunch. And we go about our day. I was hungry, now I'm full, which is fine. You are defining yourself as not needing to be fed or to fill your body with food, but unconsciously what you say to yourself matters. The thoughts that pop up in your mind out of nowhere, they matter. Where did they come from? And who is directing those thoughts to you? Who told you that? Whatever thought comes up, it's like, where did it come from? You can ask yourself these questions. I used to play in the frequency of unworthiness because I was programmed to believe that I was unworthy. So when I began to question the thoughts that were coming up, like this was in the morning every day, it will pop up. Now that you are awake, remember, you're not good enough. And so I started asking, says who? Why am I not worthy? Who taught me that? Somebody pops in my mind and a situation comes up where I took it on as the truth. That's another way you can disprove these things that pop up in your mind, or I guess address them in that way, so that you can come from a clean and clear consciousness of being yourself. With no noise, no mind chatters, no negative feelings in the body, you are coming from a clean consciousness where you can then begin to build your life. You can get to build your mindset. You can build your emotional life from. This is the time we're being called to awaken. We've been asked to do this for a long time, but every year we start off with good intentions, but then fall off and let the programs, limitations, and everything else influence our decisions and how we feel about ourselves. How you feel about yourself is important. Depending on who you are at a soul level, is exactly how other people are going to be treating you. It's like, oh, you feel like shit about yourself? I'm picking those vibes from you, so guess what? You suck. And then we just react because we already don't feel good about ourselves. So it's easier to just react or whatever, say something back or just react internally, call them names or whatever, and we just go about our day. We are totally unconscious to what's happening. Based on who you are, again, at soul level, there are people that are wired, like how they treat other people is exactly how the other people are going to treat them. So it's like, if you're good to someone, you notice that you're receiving good experiences. But some people like me, how I treat myself is exactly how people treat me. I find that this way of being is very revealing to me. Like, okay, how am I treating myself? And really, whether you are created to be what I just talked about or not, it's just good practice to treat yourself good, to come from a clean consciousness and intentionally create what you want because you have chosen it, not from other people's programs to tell you who you are, right? And then also just be a good human. Treat other people well, because you never know. You never know. But I do hope you found some value from this live. So if you are a woman on here, we're doing our divine feminine activation and womb healing. And so if you're interested, the link is in the bio. And then if you're interested to check out what the Akashic Records are as well, you don't have to be a man or a woman. If you're interested in a modality that can literally change your life, help you find out what current patterns are influencing you at an unconscious level, energetically and spiritually, and finding out what your divine soul energetics are so that you can begin to reprogram your subconscious and reprogram your entire life to match who you are at soul level. The Akashic Records are an invaluable resource. They're my favorite. So if you're interested in that, the link is also in the bio. I do want to thank you for your time. Hello, welcome. Today's topic, we're talking about the signs that you are ready to awaken. This is for both men and women. The signs are sort of like universal, but when we begin talking about women, that's going to be very specific. Some of the signs that show up that you're ready to quantum leap to the next level of your life is, one, you feel an internal dissatisfaction about your life in general. You feel like there's something that's telling you, that's sort of expressing itself like, hey, we're kind of done with the way that we're experiencing our life and the way that we're acting in our lives, or being, not acting, the way that we're being in our lives, and it's time for something different. So that's usually one of the first signs that show up. This means that you have experienced the way that you are experiencing yourself right now. You have experienced that consciousness to the fullest, and so the deeper part of yourself is like, okay, we have exhausted this level of experience and expression. It's time to move on to the next thing. But what happens oftentimes and not is that when we are not aware of our own energies and the way that we are showing up every day, we just kind of like sit with the uncomfortable feeling, right? It's like, yeah, I feel uncomfortable, but that's just how life is. That's not how life is. Your soul, the deeper part of yourself, is communicating to you, hey, it's time to experience something different. So internal dissatisfaction will be one of the first signs that show up to let you know that, okay, it's time for the next experience of ourselves. And it's time to attract different things in our experience. Welcome. Thank you for joining. And then another sign that may show up towards the beginning of the signs that come up will be in our relationships. We're not happy with the way that we're experiencing ourselves in relationship, or we attract drama or just dissatisfaction, right? And it's like, again, the deeper part of yourself is like, okay, we are kind of done with our current level of experience, one, and then the relationship that we are attracting are not really giving us a deeper understanding of ourselves. Like, we're not learning anything from the current level, from the current relationships that we have. So it's like, even in that, we begin to notice this uncomfortable feeling that we need to experience different relationships that are going to help us grow. Now, one can say, yeah, well, part of growth is the experience that you are experiencing in your relationships right now. Yes, but it's an indicator to let you know that, okay, you've exhausted this level of consciousness. Now it's time for you to explore what else is there. Explore how you can express yourself and attract different relationships than what is currently showing up. Some people have drama. Some people just feel like people don't get them. Like, people in the relationships, whether that's romantic or family or friendships or, society in general, they just feel like they're not being understood the way that they want to be seen and experienced. And I will say, your relationship with yourself is important, because how you show up to you determines what you receive from the relationships in your life. I'll say it again. Your relationship with yourself determines what you call forth from other people as the experience of you. So if you're showing up shrinking your energy, if you're showing up with an internal energetic resonance of, I'm not good enough, other people are better at this than me, no, I can't have that. That's reserved for other people. A person like me can't have that, right? Any limiting thoughts, feelings about yourself, how you feel about the feeling of you when you're showing up at work, or, you know, hanging out with friends, or even when you're by yourself, you just feel this internal limitation, like you can't have certain things that other people have. That lets you know your current relationship with yourself and where you are. And so that also determines what you attract in people. When you cultivate a positive relationship with yourself, to know that you are enough, that you deserve love, you deserve abundance, you deserve inner peace, you deserve joy, whatever. And then you show up like that, you will find that what you attract in people is going to be very, very different than you shrinking yourself and, like, you know, thinking that you are less than. So when you clean your own home, when you clear any thoughts or feelings of lack and less than and whatever, and I understand we get programmed as a society to shrink ourselves, to think that we are less than. That's an old program that has been embedded in our subconscious, deep in our subconscious, to keep away from our own power, to keep away from our own self-understanding of who we are, so that we can continue to operate in limitation. You know, it serves somebody. When you don't know your power and you are just reacting emotionally and mentally and you don't know why, that means that maybe there's a program from maybe childhood or at some point in your life that was embedded in you to keep you small. And again, it isn't to say that the people that did that, you may even know them as I'm speaking to you right now, it doesn't mean that those people were horrible people. Maybe they also got programmed at a young age or earlier in their lives, and so they don't really know themselves, so they can only show you what's in their consciousness, right? And so it goes generation after generation after generation. Limitation continues. It's almost like there has been an emotional legacy of lack and limitation. 2025 is the time that we're being asked to awaken. We've been being asked for a while now, but people have kind of been not taking it seriously. But this is the time. You are being called to awaken. The sign that you're ready is you feel uncomfortable in what you attract in your relationships is just not what you want. And especially at work, certain people will get on your nerves. But there's also a deeper, this is a conversation that could go on for a long time, but you notice that how people are treating you at work doesn't resonate with who you are. You notice that you're being suggested on to kind of diminish yourself and diminish how you're showing up, to not be confident, to kind of make room for an established energy that is in the work environment. You can't show up boldly, you can't do this, you can't do that. Yeah, I think that that's unfortunately normal in our society. If you work for somebody, you're gonna have to follow certain rules. And you'll find that these rules will actually go deeper into how you're showing up. You are gonna be limited in some way. And then another sign that lets you know that you are ready to shift is that you call certain information to you to come into your consciousness, to let you know as a confirmation that, yeah, what I was thinking about earlier or someday is here now. Let me begin to tap into this to find out, because there's something to this. So when we are ready, we send out a signal to bring to us things that are going to sort of help us look at what's going on in our consciousness, in our subconscious. When you don't intentionally program your own subconscious mind, someone else is doing that, I guarantee you. Someone else is programming your subconscious mind on your behalf. They're not looking out for you either in those programs. They're looking out for themselves in whatever way. Have you ever watched a commercial around like 10:30 or 11 p.m. at night? What do you see? Side effects of some medication. If you tap into the feeling of what you are listening to around that time, if you tap into what they're saying, there's going to be an energetic resonance of fear. This is going to happen to you. You may experience this and that. They know what they're doing. Nighttime, around that time, is one of the best times you can consciously reprogram your subconscious mind and put in positive thoughts, emotions, so that when you wake up in the morning, you are waking up at a higher vibration already. If you didn't know, the energy and the feelings and the thoughts that you fall asleep with, those are the same energy and feelings that you're going to feel when you wake up first thing in the morning. So this is why some people wonder, oh, I just wake up and I got these thoughts that are just popping in my mind and I just feel, I don't know, bad. There's a reason for that. Spiritual hygiene is important, and that includes the subconscious mind. Even if you don't have anything that you want to manifest or consciously create for yourself, just to see what happens. And you don't really have to listen to anyone about what you should want. That's an old program that we have overplayed in on this planet. Because, like I mentioned, people that program people, they know this. They'll bring things to your consciousness to make sure you don't tap into your own power, your own divinity, so that you don't want things that are going to change your life. So if you don't want to manifest anything consciously, if you just want to kind of like clear your energy and your thoughts and like, or maybe just see what happens one night, right? Just for one night. Around the time when you're in bed before you fall asleep, consciously put in, or you can even say it out loud, about your worth. I'm enough. I'm important. I matter. I am loved. I am not alone. I am divinely guided. Especially the worthiness, intentional programming, I would recommend that more than anything else. I matter. I'm important. I am worthy. By the way, how you say that also matters. Have you ever watched affirmation videos? I don't know if you're like me. I can feel the energy of what is being said. We've been taught to say affirmations just in our mind, you know? Mindlessly just say, I am healthy, I am wealthy. You are not conscious to the words that you are speaking. You are not even connected to your own body when you're saying these affirmations. The I am holds a lot of power in it. When you say I am, you are affirming your own divinity. You are bringing it to your consciousness. You're being conscious with yourself. You sort of have to, maybe if you are easily distracted, you can even like close your eyes and like tune into your body. Have the intention to be aware, to be present to what you are saying. You gotta engage your mind and your energy and your body so that when you wake up in the morning, you are already in an elevated state of being, right? So when you close your eyes and you actually have the intention to say, I am, and maybe you can say it a few times until you begin to feel a certain power behind I am. And when you begin to feel that, that's when you can begin to add certain words to it. I am powerful. You can feel it kind of like reverberate in your energy. I am enough. You can feel that. I am worthy. You can feel that too. So if you can begin to play with that, even tonight, just to see what happens in the morning, right? Just to see where you wake up in the morning. When you engage your energy, your body, and your conscious mind to what you are saying, it's like you're being present with the deeper part of yourself that's been waiting for you to say hello. So when you say, I am, and you really feel that, it's going to respond to you. The divine presence that is within you is going to say, yes, it's true. You are enough. You are important. And it's going to kind of celebrate if you haven't been consciously tapping in and connecting with a deeper aspect of yourself. So tonight, just try it out and, say, I am. Or you can say it inside of your body if you don't want anyone hearing you. But I will say, though, the way it becomes effective is different. Because if you just say it in your mind, I am, that's going to create some type of transformation, but it's not going to be as effective, as powerful as speaking out loud, right? Speaking it out loud. Because your voice and the vibration in your vocal cords are very important. When you speak things into existence like that, they literally embed themselves in the consciousness of your reality. That way, what you attract to you matches the resonance you just cultivated in you. Again, people that program people know this. Have you ever wondered why? Maybe you've thought about it. Why do people like to say, I am hungry, I'm tired? It's because they feel hunger. They feel their body is kind of exhausted. It feels exhausted, right? That's intentional. That's one of the programs that we've been programmed with as a society, to affirm something that is not who we are. You are not hungry. You are experiencing hunger. That's a deeper conversation. So, begin to become aware of what you are affirming in yourself, in your consciousness, because it matters. This is the beginning of really awakening and waking up from the slumber, waking up from the negative programs that have been programmed in us. This isn't to say that you should be a victim. That's another program to keep you hidden, to keep you safe, to sort of obligate responsibility to not tune in. It's like, look at it this way. Okay, so this is what has been happening. All right. It's my time now to consciously choose and decide what I'm going to experience in my life. It is my time to tune in and find out who I am. Because who you are is powerful. Who you are does not negotiate with your ego. You find that in the beginning, when you begin to sort of become aware of how you are experiencing yourself and what reprogramming the subconscious mind, your ego is going to try to fight you, because its job is to keep you safe. No matter the consciousness that you are operating from, it doesn't really care. It doesn't care whether you are happy or not. This isn't to say that the ego is bad. I know there's a narrative out there that people talk about the ego like it's so bad. It's not bad. You are living on Earth in 3D. You need to have a mechanism to sort of let you know when there's danger. So you don't go, all happy and fall off the cliff or whatever. The ego is important. But we've given it so much power that it feels entitled to come in and sort of influence you about the choices you make. But again, it's doing its job because of the current program that you are coming from. The current state of being that you are expressing yourself from, and how you are seeing the world around you and how you feel about yourself, really. So it isn't to say that you should be mad at the ego. Begin to reprogram your subconscious mind. When it starts throwing these blocks on you, like when you begin to change yourself, it's going to fight for its existence and to keep you safe in this consciousness that you've created. Because it doesn't know how to protect you when you go to the next level of experience. An example that the way that the ego would do this. So you're changing yourself, right? The concept of yourself, or you want to just change how you're feeling in your body. Every day you're doing it, right? First day, you have a lot of energy. Yeah, I can do this. You're gonna go, it's gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna give them like 4 days, you know? So it sort of like backs away and lets you begin to change yourself, and like you feel good. You have a momentum going. Day 4 comes and you just feel like, I don't want to do it. It's probably not even working anyway. Let me just abandon it. And you feel like you don't want to do it. And it feels like what the ego is saying is really true. It will say something like, you've been doing it for like 4 days. You need a break. You can do it tomorrow. Yeah, watch some cat videos. Just, you know, it's going to influence you subconsciously. But the thing is, it's going to feel like the truth. And it's going to feel like, yeah, actually, I don't want to do it. What you are doing that you don't know is that you are continuing to choose that level of existence and experience of your life. And then at the same time, the ego knows that it can keep you safe there because it can predict every action that you take. It knows what's going to happen. Nothing. Even though you don't feel good about what you're experiencing, or you feel like, you know, this little internal conflict about what's happening in your life, and you really do have the desire to change, the ego doesn't care. So it will stop you, and then you go back to doing everything, you know, what you've done, and then your soul again. This is one option, but guess what? There's this other life that you could be having. Your soul will not tell you what to do. It will suggest some things to you, and your spiritual family will be like, yeah, this is one experience, but if you really want to change, like, I've gotten this signal from you, here's another experience for you, but you're sort of gonna have to choose it. Your soul is not gonna choose for you. It's still gonna be guiding you in your where you are, right? And so let's say you quit, and then maybe a few days or a month later, you see something that really activates you, like, there's potential here. I can see the potential of this. I can see myself doing this. I can feel I'll be a better person if I do this. I'll have the experience that I want. And so you start again. Whatever modality that you're doing, whatever you're doing to kind of like shift your consciousness, you start again. And the ego is like, oh, she's doing it again. He's doing it again. Okay. Last time I stopped them at day 4. Let's go to day 6 this time. And, you know, you feel great. You're confident and you're doing it. You really feel good. You begin to receive an inflow of beautiful energy that is supportive of you to sort of begin to help you shift your consciousness, right? It comes to you and you're like, oh, I feel great. I can do it. I'm enough. And day 6 comes, or day 5. Again, it does the same thing that it did to you the last time. I'll do it tomorrow. I think I deserve a break. Let me go do something else. Okay, so it does that, and then you stop again. So it learns how to stop you. And it will use energies such as distraction, worry. Yeah, I don't feel like doing it. You just feel exhausted, or like, yeah, I'd rather do something else. It uses that technique to stop us. Let's say you continue, you go past the 6th day. You're on day 7, day 8. Then it starts to like bring anxiety and fear about, like, you know, it will take one thing that's happening in your life and blows it out in your mind and in your energy. Oh, but see, your bank account is low. It's not, what are you talking about? It's not, look at reality. Let's be real. You're lying to yourself. You really are not. You're just kind of shifting your life energetically and mentally to a new vibration. So it's going to do that. It will take something very little, or maybe you like attract a little drama in some relationship of your life, and then you're like, where did that come from, right? And so you take your attention, which is one of the most important things that we all have, and you place it on the drama. So the energy that you've been creating to improve your life goes to the drama, and you immerse yourself in it. Before you know it, you go to bed and you forgot to do it. You forgot to do the thing that you've been doing to change your life. The ego has a lot of tricks to keep you in the same comfort zone, whether you like it or not. But when you become aware that, okay, I stopped the last time, this time I'm going to set alarms, I'm going to do whatever it takes to continue. So you continue past the 6 days, 7, and you keep going. If it does everything to stop you, to try to stop you, and it sees that you're not stopping, you keep doing it, right? And this is important. Keep doing it. It's going to be like, okay. And this is translated into, you're noticing that there is not too much noise in your mind. You notice that the way that you are feeling about yourself and your life is sort of shifting to a lighter frequency, and you're like, I actually like this. I'm going to continue. I'm going to introduce other things to help me, right? So it's going to be like, whoa, they're not stopping. I've done this. I've thrown fear. I've thrown anxiety. I've thrown worry about their bank account. I've thrown all of this. They're not doing it. You may feel like you are afraid for no reason. That's also another indicator that, okay, the ego is trying to stop me, but I'm not stopping, right? And so you do it, you continue. It's gonna have to acclimate now, because remember, its job is to keep you safe where you are. The current life experience you've made your normal in your subconscious mind, in your energy, and in your life. Because whatever is going on in your subconscious and your energy body is a direct reflection of what's happening in your life. Usually we don't know this. But anyway, when you continue, it's going to have to kind of release its grip of control and trying to keep you safe. It has to meet you where you're going now in order to keep you safe. Oh, I can't be here now because this person they've been going, so I might as well adopt in order for me to keep them safe. And so it becomes your ally now. It begins to help you. It becomes your friend now. So you are the one who determines what the ego is going to do on your behalf. Acclimates to your new frequency, to your new vibration. And then, if you, for the fun of it, try to introduce a negative energy in your frequency, if you try to introduce negative thoughts about yourself, your life, whatever, it's going to fight you. Why? Because that's not your normal anymore. So it's going to fight for its existence. I don't think there's people that want to feel bad for the hell of feeling bad. And so you say, oh, I suck. After you've been doing the work to acclimate, it's going to be like, what the heck are you talking about? No, you don't. You are enough, remember? You are beautiful. You are divinely guided by all these beautiful, you're so family or whatever. People love you. What you have to say matters. You are important. What are you talking about? You are not bad. You're not whatever you're trying to introduce. It's going to fight you until you're like, okay, if it is what you want to experience, obviously, the lighter expression of what you want to experience, it's going to be your friend now. And so this is where you begin to notice when you are in public or you're hanging out with your friends or you watch something on TV, you begin to feel the frequencies of what you are being suggested on. And that's a beautiful time. You notice just how much we've been asleep. All of us, we've been asleep to negative influences, negative energetic expressions, and negative programming in general to keep us hidden from who we really are, right? So that's one way you can begin to reprogram your subconscious mind. When you begin to see the signs that let you know that you're ready to up level to a different frequency of your life, a different frequency of how you feel about yourself and what you're here to do, right? Especially if you feel like you are the black sheep of the family, or like people don't get you. You're here for something very profound. But how do you know when you are asleep to your own life, to your own energy, and to your own subconscious? Oh, hello. Thank you all so much for joining. If you find value in this, and you find that the things that I talk about are not common knowledge, it's because I've done a lot of healing work, and I know a lot of really deep healing modalities that open our eyes to what's really going on. This is not coming from ego, in case you're wondering. So these are the signs that let you know that you're ready to shift your life and really to tap into the next level of yourself, but starting now. Nothing comes into your consciousness if you're not ready for it. It's impossible. If you're ready for something, you caught it there. So your soul is like, okay, here you go. But you, as the divine consciousness, the divine being of your life, you are sovereign. That means that you choose what you want to experience. But it doesn't mean that you are obligated to take every single path that comes to you. You have deep guidance within you that lets you know, listen to what she's saying, listen to what he's saying. There's something to that. And you feel it in your body. This is how you know that, okay, there might be something to this, and let me listen. Let's see what happens, right? So those are the signs. Now, women are very powerful. I'm not saying that men are not, but we as women are very powerful. And we have been collectively programmed to store fear, guilt, and shame in our womb. Even the women that came before you, they've been programmed to store fear and, the insecurities about who you are as a woman. We've been programmed to sort of shrink our field, our energy field, to accommodate other energies that are really not part of who we are. Then we fight with that, but we don't know that that's what we're doing. We don't know that we are fighting with the energies that are not who we are. But we don't know how to tap into the divine power that we have as women. We react by putting other women down, by feeling insecure about ourselves, by trying to pull a woman down that is in her power, that is confident in themselves, because they've tapped in, they've tuned into the divine feminine that's within them. You can't know your power if you're always shrinking your field, if you're always, comparing yourself to other women, if you're always trying to one-up someone. I'll say that I used to do that when I didn't know my own power. I used to react and just project on certain women that were confident and powerful until I did my own healing work in the womb. The womb is a portal. Some people call it a technology. It could be, honestly. I can see how that can be because even though I've experienced this power, I do every day, there is deeper layers. It's just an invaluable resource and ally that immediately puts you in your power. when you begin to tap in, what I've experienced in the women's circle, women, they release all the limitation in their lineage, all the ancestral traumas and everything that we've been programmed. It's like, if you are on this planet right now and you are a woman, this is your job. This is part of your job. To heal yourself, to tap in and begin to heal your lineage, to release the fear, to release the dramas, the insecurity, and everything that we store in our womb as women, to begin to create your life from divine power. And you know what else that happens when you heal yourself, when you heal your feminine energy? You begin to be a safe space for the masculine in your life. They begin to feel your power. They begin to feel the safety in your energy. They begin to let go. They begin to be healed by your frequency. It isn't to say that you are telling them that they need to heal. It isn't to say that you are having a vocal conversation with them to heal whatever. You begin to hold space for them to be the divine masculine, because men are powerful too, and they're here to support the feminine, to also provide. But if your feminine energy is entangled in drama and the expression of who you are not, it's hard. It's hard for people to get to know who you really are. And when you heal your womb, when you heal your divine feminine, everybody begins to treat you differently. Well, not everybody. There's going to be women that are repelled by that. Even as I'm speaking right now, you may actually have, some of you may have some judgment about it. Oh, yeah, I don't know. And that's okay. That's your choice. But this year, we're being called to tap into our power so that we can uplift our lives in a beautiful way. And we can offer the world a beautiful energy, a beautiful frequency that you came in with to express yourself, to be of service from the divine feminine energy. Oh, you don't have to. Again, you are a sovereign being. You choose. That's what it means. You choose what you're going to experience. But if something touches you, like I mentioned, then you know that there's something to that. Even if you kind of dabbled in it, just to see what happens. And then you can choose to go back to the old way of being. That's available too. And if anybody's like really telling you what you should do in your life, I would be very careful. I would really be careful about that person. So if you are interested, or you felt something in your body about what we talked about today, then I would really encourage you to click the link in the bio and sign up for this webinar. It's really going to be transformative. It's such a sacred practice that we're going to be stepping into, releasing anything that isn't yours, anything that you have inherited from the women before you, so that you can begin to tap into your power. You get on TikTok, you do other things. The ego learns. Oh yeah, this worked the last time. Let's do it again. What that does over time, your self-trust isn't there. You don't trust yourself anymore. When you say you're going to do something, when you say you're going to change your life, it's like, yeah, I want change. Change would be great. I'm going to do it, but you don't trust yourself anymore. And so the deeper part of you learns to relax and let the ego take, the wheel. Because it's easy. The human part doesn't want to follow through. So your soul, your spirit guides, your higher self, they're not gonna yell at you. They're not gonna tell you what to do, because you are here as a sovereign being to take action from preference. You see what you like from life and you choose something. oh, this would be great for me. I think I would love to experience this, to have this experience in my life. So let me take the action to match the consciousness that will bring this thing to me. Let me match my future self or my, the me that already is experiencing this because I chose it. That means that there's a part of me that is already experiencing it. But since I'm here and I just chose it, it means that it's a journey. And it doesn't have to be a long journey depending on what you are implementing to get there. That's a different story. Yeah, the other me is already experiencing this. So then what you're doing every day when you're taking action and you're really committed, like no matter what happens, right? Even if it's 11:58, you do it 11:59, you are taking the action and you are committed for that day, right? Then you begin to recondition your frequency, your vibration, and your subconscious mind and your ego to let it know, hey, I'm the boss of my life. You're not going to influence me anymore. This is what we're doing now. Get with the program. But if the ego has been programming you, right, which is the other way around, usually we don't know that, right? We don't know that. So what you're doing every day when you're taking action to change yourself and to experience a different frequency in your life of divine self-expression, because what we're doing is to see how we can experience ourselves in the new level and to see how that feels. It's the delicious frequency of experiencing something different than we are currently experiencing, right? What you're doing every day is you are reintroducing a higher frequency to yourself, first of all, and to the frequency that is already experiencing what you want. So it's like you are making that energy normal for you now, right? Right here, this you, current perspective of you. You are also consciously choosing the other frequency. So it's like you are drawing it to you. You are making this you comfortable and familiar to the other frequency. So you're calling it every day. I am choosing you today. And today I'm choosing you. I'm choosing you. You keep going until you're finally that person that's like, yeah, I deserve this. I created this. I'm very proud of myself. I'm happy here. Until the next time you're like, okay, we've been comfortable here for a while. Even though you have, a certain amount of money and your business is booming, you're like, okay, all right, what can we improve? What can we create? And then you go from there. So you begin to be the conscious creator of your life, and you begin to recondition your ego to your will, not the other way around. So I hope you found some value in this live today. I certainly did, because it helped me bring a different perspective. It helped me see what I was not choosing, even though I said I wanted it, right? I asked the universe, give me signs. And then signs would come like, I've heard of that before, right? How many of you have said that? I've heard of that technique before, huh? Right? And then there's one that I actually began to take action on that I wasn't really committed on. And so I just let it fall away from my consciousness. And that's how we choose. It's like, if something makes sense to us, but it's like, how is it making sense to you? Is the ego the one deciding what makes sense to you? Or are you choosing for it to make sense because the person that is teaching you is at a different frequency than you, and you want that frequency and you're committed, and so you're listening to them and you're taking congruent action to get there? Or is the ego the one deciding, oh, you've heard of this technique before, just forget about it. You are somewhere here, and it will make you feel like you are higher than this. I'm not. There's a part of me that is holding on to something that is not working for me. So today it is my job to actually start over and be really committed to seeing it through, whether it's boring or not. See, that was the thing. I got to a point, I was taking this particular action from this lady, and it got boring for me, tedious. But that's the thing that's gonna help me, because there's a part of me that needs to get out of there, to get out of my current thinking. I saw that very clearly today, and I'm not gonna let myself off the hook. It's not happening, not anymore anyway, because I don't know how I'm going to change throughout the journey of what I say I want. So this was a wake-up call for me, and I am not gonna give up. Just like I've been going live now for like, I don't know if it's the 5th or 6th day. I can't tell you how many times the ego has told me to just forget about it, do something else. No one's listening, whatever. But it's not about that though. I appreciate your presence. It's about the frequency of me and how I'm changing every day as I'm taking action. It's about how I'm showing up. So I appreciate you showing up for me and for yourselves. Maybe. I don't know. But it's a journey for sure. Yeah. So thank you for joining me. I'm gonna go ahead and get off for tonight because I do have some homework that I need to start doing tonight. I hope you come back tomorrow. I'll be live the same time tomorrow and every day. So I do hope you come back for more lives, because I do talk about different things and manifestation processes that work faster than others. And also, I do channel beings of light that deliver amazing, beautiful messages of healing and transformation. That's something I haven't done, haven't started doing yet. Although I do have another channel that is Serenity Healing Circle. This is where I do most of the channeling, right? This is where there's a lot of like messages of healing and transformation. And also they do talk about the changes that are happening in our world right now. I just haven't been able to do that on this channel just yet. I'm laughing because I feel like I'm being guided that this is something I'm probably going to be doing here, or maybe at least meditations. So I guess we'll see how that evolves and where it goes. So thank you so much. I hope you have a good night. Remember, triggers are not wrong. Triggers are not bad. They just mean that whatever you feel inside of your body when you get triggered is ready to be addressed and released. So thank you. Hello, and welcome to my live. I'm Ethel. Thank you for joining. I'm a spiritual life coach and mindset coach. So today's topic, we're talking about the frequency of desire. Basically, what is the energy that your desire has? Notice I didn't say the frequency of want, because when you want something, you're implying that you don't have it. But when you desire something, there's no want there. There's desiring it because you are worthy. So the frequency of desire has energies of worth in it. Like, yeah, you can have it, right? Because you are worthy and you are divine and you're here to create your life exactly like you want, and you are supported by the universe. By the universe. Because when we say want, it's like there's a feeling, a sort of, we are not enough to have it, so we have to sort of like want it, right? But when you desire something, you are in your power. You're like, yeah, I can have it. I desire this thing and I know it's coming or it's here, right? So, hello, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Just say hello as you're coming in. Thank you for joining. So the frequency of your desire vibrates very differently than where you currently are. Usually we tell the universe, oh, I want this, I want this. But what we don't know is that when you say you want something, the universe says, yeah, you want it. The universe doesn't act on your behalf because there's an energy of want. And the energy of want can only do what it can, which is want, right? And so you keep wanting it. You keep wanting it instead of choosing it by desiring it. I desire this. And so the frequency of desire again has feelings of empowerment in it. Now, you know that how you are vibrating right now is probably different from the desire, because if you are a match for it, it would be in your life. When I do processes, I don't say, now imagine or visualize your desire that you are already there. What are you feeling? Because you're coming from the mind, right? So when you, what if you reach a state of non-desire and just want to give to others? That's perfect. If that fulfills you and you feel good about it, you are serving, you are in service, and you are aligned with where you are right now. Your soul wants to give because you've experienced everything that you want to experience or desire to experience at the moment, that your heart is full and you just want to give and, you know, help others. That's amazing. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm speaking of, so that could be a frequency of desire to, you know, give to others. You have the desire because you know you can give something of value to another individual, right? So you can agree, you're still in desire, but you're not desiring something for yourself. You are desiring to help another person with something of value that you have to share, right? So oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely. If you feel called to share my life and you find value from it, I really appreciate. Yeah, makes perfect sense. Thank you. You are very welcome. So share the live so that many people can, you know, tune in and maybe, you know, learn something. I've been doing this for over a decade now, and so I truly believe I have a lot of insights to share. So I appreciate you sharing my life. Thank you so much. I've had many teachers in my life, many of them. Dr. Joe Dispenza, his meditations are amazing. They've helped with my mind chatters, right? I don't live in my mind anymore. Like I live in my body, like I'm present. So Dr. Joe Dispenza, I don't know if you've read his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself or Becoming Supernatural. They are amazing books. Like you get to learn a lot about yourself. So that's just one of my mentors, but I've had many because I'm very dedicated on this path to become better than I was yesterday. The reason I became a life coach and also Akashic Record practitioner was because I know how limiting beliefs can influence our lives unconsciously, right? But when you bring awareness to something that has been unconscious, it's not unconscious anymore. So you can change yourself to get out of, you know, that particular frequency so that you can become better. And so, yeah, absolutely. Listen to them. Well, you can also I don't like reading either. I mean, reading a book for me takes more time than listening to his audio books. I think that's much better for me because I can go around doing other things while I'm listening. And I find that I learn better by listening rather than reading the book. I always admire the people that can read a book in like 2 days. I'm like, how? How did you? I can't do it. So I totally understand. I'm right there with you there. So that's why I like audiobooks. I think they are much better than reading. Although they say reading is good for you, but I prefer listening. I integrate things better that way. So when someone says, think about your desire, see yourself in the future already manifested, you know, your desire, it's like they're coming from the mental body level. But if you close your eyes, if you're driving, don't do it. Collective shift of consciousness. Oh yeah, I feel that every time, like when it's time for the collective to shift, I feel it. And sometimes, you know, people have a hard time with it. They're just getting bombarded with frequencies. And yeah, I do well to take care of my mindset and my energy so that I can be there for others where I'm not influenced by the collective energy. Sometimes, you know, we do certain processes to kind of send light and love to the collective so that we can contribute in that way, right? And so, yeah, I encourage anyone to really take care of what is in your mind, like your mindset and also your energy, because those two go together. But energy is really loud, right? Energy, we get influenced a lot more by energy than the mind. Yeah, the mind will come in every once in a while and like say some things that we don't want to hear. But I think it's important to just take care of ourselves as a whole. Mental, emotional, energetic, really, spiritual. So that's why I think that this is why a lot of people are seeking to heal themselves, because there's a lot of shifts happening. And when you look at the news, it's just like, it's too much. There's a lot of fear and limitation in the media right now. I mean, there always have been, but right now it's like amplified. And so it's like, notice yourself and notice what is coming up and act accordingly to heal that so that you can become safe in your own body, because it's very, very important. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And so that's why, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like that answer. It is a big mirror. So this is why when you change your frequency, you are coming from a clean place. Life is going to show you a clean face, right? When you look at something, it's like, oh, you're being reflected back how you feel about yourself. You know, you've worked on yourself, and so you're only receiving good experiences, right? Life is showing you that, guess what? The work that you've been doing on yourself is paying off. Look, you're a beautiful person, right? If that's what we want to experience about ourselves. So yeah, I don't say think about your desire or visualize your desire. I say, I like to do this and like close your eyes when you can. You don't have to. I'm just talking about what I do. And then I ask someone to be their desire. Now that they have it right now, what's changed? How are they feeling about themselves? Like, what's going on in your heart? What is your heart telling you about what you just received in your life? That goes straight to the body and, like, you know, your subconscious, and you begin to literally be, and you begin to live from that place. So it's like be, live, right? And then it comes to you. So believe, be, live your desire, live the frequency of your desire in your life. Don't act as if, no, be the frequency of your desire is here, you got it. Now live from that place, right? Because the mind has a lot of noise and chatter that we've given it so much power. It feels entitled to come in and like chiming about what we're doing and like, you know, stop us depending on where we are on our journey. Yeah, exactly. Be and then live the frequency of your desire in your daily life. So then you are changing your frequency every day as you are embodying it, being it. Because if you say becoming, there's a connotation that it isn't. So when you embody it and you know, be it, it's like you're going straight to it. You have it and you feel happiness and gratitude for it immediately. And then from that place you take action, whatever action you are, you know, whatever inspired action that you receive, to then draw that thing to you in your physical reality. And so when you come from that place, like every day you're cultivating your frequency, you are revisiting that. It's like you are showing your current self, you're showing your current self the frequency of your desire that you already have at a future date of the now. So it's like you're calling yourself forward and you are reintroducing that frequency to you every day, therefore reintegrating or integrating your current self to that one that already has it. And then it comes quicker that way because you've become the boss of your life and you've decided what's going to happen in your life. And so by revisiting the frequency of your desire and becoming it every day, you're pulling yourself forward. And then before you know it, you are that person, and then you don't recognize the person that you were last month. You can literally change your life in a month if you do certain things. Like I said, I'm not a fan of imagining it or like faking it until you make it. You are playing at the ego, at the mental body level, and that's it. You are playing there, and the ego knows, oh, you're just playing. You're not serious about this. Your body is not involved, right? And so we've been wired to do that a lot. In personal development, you can find that, like, oh, just imagining it, feel it, you are there. But are you being it? Have you decided that now that I have it, one, what am I feeling in my body? Two, what has changed in my life for the better? And how am I being? What do I think about myself now that I have it? And then from that place, you know that we are worthy. But when you do it like that, you know that I'm enough to have it. I can have it, right? You are not wanting it, you are being it. And that's more powerful than the energy and the frequency of want. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was, I was very happy to be able to see that what I've been doing worked, you know? Very grateful for that. And I continue to become better every single day. Absolutely. Embody, yep. You're so welcome. Thank you. The frequency of your desire is not about wanting it every day, because if you say, oh, I want this, you are not involved. It's like you are removed from your desire. You're like, oh, I want it. But where's your body? Like, are you alive about it? You are wanting it. And so the universe will be like, okay, yes, you want it. No. I don't think you understand. I want this thing. I want to manifest this. Yes, you want it. You want to manifest it. The universe doesn't move on your behalf, but when you be it, and then you live your life from that place, knowing that it already happened, you are tapping into the frequency of having it already, and you are telling your body that this is our reality now every day. And so you're shifting your mindset, your subconscious mind, and then also your body and your energy, everything at the same time. Because when you say, oh, imagining it, like I said, it's like nothing is coming with you except your mind. Your mind is just, you know, playing in that field, and it doesn't believe that you can achieve it, actually. Because our ego is created to protect us. So when it sees that, okay, this person is taking a new action, I'm gonna give them 3 days. I'm coming in on the 4th day to stop them because we are comfortable here. Right? And so this is where people begin to take action, and then all of a sudden they stop. They don't understand why. So the ego is like, oh, wow, okay, they're taking action. Okay, I'm gonna let them play for a few days, right? And then the 4th day comes, you're just like, I really don't want to take the action today. That's why people say, even if you feel like you don't want to take the action, just do it. Because you're building momentum. And because the ego is comfortable in the comfort zone that you've created right now, it's gonna protect that. And it doesn't care whether you are happy or not in your comfort zone. Its job is to keep you safe. So if you then persist and keep going, it's gonna get to the point where it's gonna be like, I've thrown fear, I've thrown worry, I've thrown anxiety. This person is not stopping. I might as well come with them. I might as well acclimate to where they are going so that I'll be able to protect them there, because that's its job. You are living on the 3D dimension, right? And so that means that you're gonna have a physical mechanism to let you know when you are running into danger. And so that's where the ego comes in. But we've given the ego so much power that it feels like it can just tell us anything and we'll listen. And usually, I think a lot of people are asleep to what's going on in their own subconscious, right? They just act from ego, but they don't know that that's what they're doing, because everything just makes sense. Oh, I'm so tired, I need a break. And it feels true. It feels true. Oh, I've taken so much action already. I need a little break. I deserve a break. So, watch Netflix or do something, and then the ego wins. Haha. I won. What do you mean other types of support? Like, are you talking about mindset or spiritual, like spiritual healing at a soul level? Or are you speaking of something else? Oh, I'm glad it makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. It's like, when we don't know, there's no way for us to be in alignment with ourselves and with what we say we desire, not want, with what we say we desire. This is why I love bringing awareness to the unconscious. And we've been programmed as a society with a lot of limitation, right? Even individually, depending on how we grew up and where we grew up, whether we were happy or not, we get programmed with ways to think and believe about ourselves, other people, and the world in general. I grew up thinking that I wasn't good enough because somebody repeatedly told me that I wasn't good enough when I was like 9 years old. And so when you tell a child repeatedly that they're not good enough, they begin to wonder after some time, like, is there something wrong with me? Because these people are showing me that who I am is not appropriate. Who I am is not okay, like as if there's something wrong, right? And so when a program is repeated to your subconscious mind over and over again, the subconscious holds on as if that's your truth. It begins to show you evidence of what you have allowed it to hold on to as your truth. And so When we don't know, we just wonder why we have weird thoughts, pop up in our minds out of nowhere. Like for me, oh, thank you. I really appreciate the support. First thing in the morning, before I open my eyes, I'm awake, right? But my eyes are still closed. The thought will come up, oh, now that you are awake, don't forget you're not good enough. Just like that. And then immediately I feel a feeling of, yeah, I'm not good enough. Especially women, we've been programmed to shrink our energy when we are somewhere, right? We've been programmed to put other people first and put ourselves last. And we've been programmed to compete with other women. I feel like shit. What gives you the right to be like that? What gives you the right to have confidence? I'm speaking of my own personal experience. I've seen it. I've been there. But I gave myself permission to be like, okay, enough. I need to, find out who I am. So if you are a woman on here and you're serious about finding out what your divine feminine is all about, I highly encourage you to check it out. Tap the link in my bio and read about it and see if that's something you'd be interested in. Now for men, actually, excuse me, you don't have to be a man or a woman. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Akashic Records. These are an energetic database. So basically everything you've ever done, every thought you've ever had, every decision you've made at a mental body level but you never acted on it, every action you've ever taken is kept in your energetic database. Even the earth has an Akashic record, because to be able to play in time, for this time to be real, for God, the creator, the all, to know itself, it had to create, different individuation of itself so that it can experience itself from different perspectives, from different points of consciousnesses. So that means that because you are different, there's a way to access your difference and how you are specifically made to manifest and to create and to actually really show up and express your energy, express your divinity. I'm different from you, and so all of the difference can be found in there. You can find out just how different I am from you, how different you are from me. And not every manifestation process out there, and not every way that people show up in the world is meant for everybody. Take for example someone that is really gifted at being an expert in relationship. Like they just understand the energy of being in a good harmonious relationship, whether that's romantic or family or friendships or whatever, right? They understand people, they understand connection, and they know how to make it better. So let's say now this person is working by herself, by himself, somewhere in the corner, just away from people. That is very misaligned to who they are. They need to be around people so that their frequency can be felt by the people that they love, or people, in general, because they have such a beautiful energy that they bring, a beautiful energy of inclusion, and also they have a way of just making everything better. Even like business opportunities or like business partnerships, they can see the potential. And so if you have this person like hidden away somewhere, they are gonna resent their lives and they don't even know why. They just feel like, I hate this. But then when they're in like public settings, or like they go network with people, go make friends or whatever, they can just be there and you see they'll come alive. Like their frequency, they're gonna be happy and like ready to talk to people. Are gonna feel their frequency, and the ones that are aligned with them and their energy will just begin to come to them, and they'll have a beautiful connection that's gonna be beneficial for everybody. Same thing for manifestation. If someone is designed to show up exactly like, okay, so for example, when they're in public and they're speaking, they're great because their frequency is touching everybody, and everybody's like, most people are gonna be like, wow, yeah, there's something to that. Because why? That person is in alignment with who they are. Their divine energy is being witnessed by those people, and it's aligned. Now, let's say this person decides to create a business where they're just at home on the computer, faceless videos or whatever, as a means to make money, right? Faceless. They're not gonna really attain any success at all, because there's a misalignment. Their divine energy is being starved. The energy is meant to be out there, to be witnessed by people in close proximity, not faceless, where someone doesn't even know who they are, someone can't see their face. But we won't know. There's a lot of fear in the world. There's a lot of limitation that's really coming up very loudly. But again, it goes back to what you said. It's about how a person is being, right? If I love myself and I'm confident in myself, I'm in my power, and I show up that way on live or somewhere, I'm gonna receive back the confirmation that, oh wow, because people can feel that I've done the work and I'm confident and I love myself or whatever. But if I'm in fear, then because I was programmed to think less about myself and I don't know what's real anymore, all I see is negativity on the news, and I buy that, right? I take it in, and I'm always on edge, or I'm always like really anxious and like worried about things. Do I expect then people to be like, wow, I love your frequency? It's very scary. It's very, unstable. I love it. No. No. There has to be alignment at a deep level. But most of the time we don't know who we are. We don't even know what our divine energy is. Like I mentioned, we are all different. And so finding out what that means for you liberates you from a lot of things, really. It heals your subconscious mind, it heals your energy, and you begin to tap into the energy of your soul and how it wants to express itself. And you begin to hear beautiful, loving messages from your spirit guides, because we all have some, in case you didn't know. We all have spirit guides that we come in with that guide us. But whether you're happy with your life or not, they're not going to come in and tell you what to do. You are a sovereign being. You are powerful, and you're here to really live life from choosing. Contrast something negative or something that we don't want to experience. All of that shows us one side of the polarity: limitation, freedom. So when we experience limitation, frequencies, energies, and expression, when we've been in that for a long time, the soul then begins to send you signals. Hey, we've been here quite some time. We've exhausted this frequency. We've exhausted this consciousness. It's time to move out of it. When you agree, you begin to see videos about something you are thinking about. And so it's like synchronicity then begins to happen in your life to show you, since you have agreed that you don't want to be here anymore, here's something that might help you. Here's another thing that might help you. Oh, here's the other thing. So it's like unconsciously you send out this signal to the universe, and then the universe begins to tap into things that are going to help you based on your current frequency and where you are, that are going to help you lift away from that and begin to go to a different level. But it doesn't mean that you are obligated to take all of them. You don't have to. You can choose one or two of those things. But I'll tell you, every time I've taken action in everything that I receive, I've opened up more doors of possibility, like more things came. And so the more I take action with the things I've been taking action in, and then even the stuff that's coming, the more my frequency was going even higher and higher, quicker and quicker, right? You don't have to do it that way. We're all different, like I said. It's all about how quickly do you want to change your life and how serious are you? Is this a nice to have, or are you committed? Right? That's why the universe asks us. Because yeah, I will bring all of these things to you, but you as a divine being, you as a conscious creator of your life, you get to choose based on how it feels in your body, based on what you think about it. But again, here's something that many people don't know about. When you are ready to change your life, your ego, for example, you're listening to me right now, some people may say, oh, I feel truth in this. I feel the frequency, the resonance of truth. There might be something to this. At the same time, you receive maybe a judgment pops up in your mind. Oh man, I don't know. After you have the confirmation from your body that, hey, there might be something to this, your ego is gonna come in and say, oh, I don't know though. Am I ready? Should I listen? I don't like her. I don't like her hair. I don't like her pimple. Man, I don't like her teeth. So you begin judging, right? You pick something about what the person is saying or what they look like. The ego, what it's doing there is it doesn't want you to change. So it's gonna like throw something really ridiculous and be like, focus on this. You'd listen better if she looked like this. Not the way that she does, right? Judgment is one of the first signs that the ego will throw you away. Oh, it's not time. You're not ready yet. Not yet. Maybe tomorrow. Or you can find somebody else, you know? Just don't listen to that. That is your ego attempting to stop you. But if you listen to the deeper aspect of yourself that feels truth, that resonates even a little bit, that's an indicator from the signals that you sent out to the universe for it to bring you things that are going to maybe help you, because it's really up to you though, what you choose. No one can choose for you. But when you don't have awareness of what happens at a mental body level, what the little tricks that the ego plays in your mind when it comes to transformation, especially things that are very powerful, when you're taking action, like I said, it will let you play for like a few days. Yeah, so I stopped them the last time on day 4. This time, I'm gonna let him play till the 5th day, or maybe the 6th day. Let's give him some time. Let's do it on the 6th day. So then you are happy, you are like motivated, you're taking your action every day. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. You're like so happy and so proud of yourself that you are consistently taking action, right? Day number 6. Something happens, or some little drama happens, and then that like messes up your state of being. You're like, I don't even feel like doing this. I can take the action. That person was a jerk, or when you know that it's time to take your action, it doesn't have to be like at the same time every day. When you plan to take action and all of a sudden you see something interesting on TikTok, because you are there, right? And you keep scrolling, and then in the back of your mind, oh man, I need to do that, but oh, this is interesting, right? What it's attempting to make you stop. It's using every trick in its arsenal to make you stop so you can start over. Because if you say, I've been doing good. I'm gonna take a break today. I'm gonna continue tomorrow. You're not continuing. You are starting over. You just don't know it yet. And then so it can play with you again. So sometimes it will use its tricks that it's used on you as a reference to remind you, oh, it didn't work the last time. What makes you think it's gonna work this time? Isn't that ridiculous? It will do that. And so this is why I love bringing awareness to how the ego plays with us when we are on a transformative journey. This is a time we're all being called to step into who we are. So whether you are a man or a woman and you're really interested to change your life in a powerful way, I don't do anything fluffy. I don't speak about fluff. My transformational methods do not have any fluff in them. Some people get triggered by what is found in their own record, and that's okay, because if you've been living one way for maybe decades, and then you're like, okay, I'm serious now, I'm ready to change my life, and then we find out the current patterns of choices that someone is engaged in, they're like, whoa, I wasn't ready for this. But it's like, that's the very thing that you can look at if you decide to continue, if you decide to change your life. Look at this, because this is keeping you in the same vibration every day. This is keeping you limited. This program is outdated. This program is keeping you small, right? But it's time, really. It's time to change if you're serious. So click the link in the bio if you are interested. So just to go back to the topic, because I know I already mentioned that earlier, when you are coming from the frequency of your desire, you are being it. Don't go about it like, oh, visualize it, imagine your desire is here, you have it. How are you feeling? You are playing with your ego. Your ego is like, oh, yeah, let's imagine, man. Let's pretend. It's great. But when you when you close your eyes, don't do this if you're driving. I would not recommend it. So when you find some time to close your eyes, and in the moment after you close your eyes, the desire is already here. Now that you have it, that's where you're starting from. Now that it is here, what's happening in your heart? Are you happy? Like when you say something like, now that you have the desire, what are you feeling? You receive a response immediately in your body to let you know. Now that you have it, what is your heart doing? How are you feeling in your body? What has changed in your life? By the way, you want to do this quickly. Don't take time on each question. Don't give the window for the for your mental body to come in and oh, but yeah, I know you're saying now that I have it, but see, right now we don't want none of that. You close your eyes and you ask yourself, now that I have my desire, oh my gosh, what does my heart feel like? Your heart will give you a response immediately. Now that I have this desire, what's different in my life? How do I feel about myself? You are moving to the frequency of your desire as if it's already here. And so when you do this every day, it doesn't have to be 20 minutes. A few seconds is enough to move your body, your current frequency, into your desire already. And the more you do this, the more you practice this, a few seconds every day, I'm sure we can all find a few seconds to do this, right? It's not hard. The more you do that, you are reconditioning your subconscious mind, you're reconditioning your mental body, your physical body, and your energy at the same time. It's like, wow, it's here. And then after you do that, you open your eyes. Continue to feel, like place your awareness on your heart and continue to feel that. Take it as far as you can during your day. So then you're calling that frequency to you every day, quickly. Rather than coming from, oh, imagine. Yeah, let's pretend. Fake it until you make it. You are giving the ego little toys to play with and to stop you when you do that. It's like, oh, you're pretending? Let's pretend. This is fun, right? But you're not being it and then living your life from there. Be it. Close your eyes, bring it up. Now that I have it, what's happening in my body? What's different in my life? And how do I feel about myself now that this is here? And you don't waste time on each question. You ask all of these as quickly as you can at the same time. And so your ego doesn't have time to come in and say, oh, well, but look at this, look at that. Because it's attempting to bring your consciousness and to bring you back to the frequency where you are. But if you do this quickly and then you live your life as if it's here, because you're most likely gonna feel happiness, maybe gratitude, higher frequencies of existence and experience in your body. And that's how you know that you're doing it correctly. Doing it that way, you are being and you are living your desire. Believe, be, live. Not imagine, pretend, whatever. And then open your eyes and try to just, bring it up. No. Do it like this. I promise you, it's more powerful than pretending. Oh, let's visualize. Now, if visualization does work for you, please continue to do it. Don't, if something works for you, don't change it. But if you want to try a simple new way, just to try, just for the fun of it, and see the difference. I can't visualize like people talk about. I've tried many techniques. It's hard for me to visualize. I do better by being it and then living my life from that frequency of happiness, fulfillment, whatever. It's quicker for me that way. I bypass everything from the mind because, again, I don't want to give my ego a little window to come in and be like, well, you're saying this, but remember, that's not where you are. So I do what works for me powerfully, and I make sure that the ego is not gonna, because now I'm able to recognize it. Like I mentioned earlier, like sometimes I'm on here live and I'll fumble a few times. It's learned to use that to sort of make me stop going live. It'll be like, oh, you're not saying it correctly. You're not saying it right. It's not working. No one's listening. But I'm like, I don't care. On the off chance that this actually helps somebody, I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna show up. Because right now I'm being called to show up. You see what I mean? I'm being called to show up, like regardless of what I'm looking like, what I sound like. It's like I'm bulletproof when it comes to my mindset, when it comes, when we're talking about ego and stopping us. So if you are in a manifestation process, do not listen to the ego's little tricks and tactics to make you stop. I'm too tired. Don't listen to that. Ask yourself, what if I wasn't tired? What if I can still do it anyway? And then you do it. I promise you, you'll feel so much better after you do it. You won't feel tired anymore. If anything, you're going to receive vital force energy in your body that is going to help you feel good about yourself and open your heart and feel accomplished. Like you did something good. It happens every time. And so I do hope you found some value from this live. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a good rest of your day.